Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so this is going to be a divine masculine reading. Um, I actually already recorded one today and posted it earlier. And then I got the insight that a specific divine masculine reading wanted to come out. And then also the it's like messages from your person if they could be completely honest with you in this now moment. Um I basically got the insight that somebody in the collective was calling for more of those. So, we're going to see what wants to come through just generally for the divine masculine, and then we are going to pull messages from your person. So, okay, if you're watching this and you resonate more with the feminine, then some of this might resonate with your internal masculine. Or if you're cross watching, obviously, just flip it how it fits. This is okay. So, for the particular masculine collective that resonates more with being a divine masculine, I'm picking up that you are on a counterpart journey and you are not in contact. So, this is a continuation of the thread that came through. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before. I don't know. Time does weird things. But hey, let's get into it. Oh, really quick, thank you for your support on the channel. The likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations all really do help out. So thank you, thank you. Okay, now let's get into the actual message. What does the divine masculine need to hear today for the highest good? Spit out. Storm warning, but it flipped. It's in reverse. Okay. We've got storm warning in the reverse position. That was weird. So, okay, it came out in the upright, and then when I picked up to move it over here, it flipped and went into the reverse. So there could be a situation where it's like you escaped the storm. Um like you barely missed it. Something, yeah, I'm picking up that something may have happened where you changed something. You, whether this was, releasing a limiting belief, had an aha moment of clarity, maybe the clouds have cleared and you're seeing things clearly. Something like that. Let's see. Reversed. Okay. It says, this indicates dark times are behind you, or at least beginning to fall away. You can take heart that sunny skies and better times are on the horizon. This new light may bring a time of reassessment and redirection for you. Let yourself consider where you want to go next. Spend some time reflecting on the difficulty that passed. What was the lesson for you? Whether it's about self love or empowerment, remember to bring these intentions and the lessons learned into your bright new path. Hey, good job. So, yeah, it's like the storm clouds are lifting. Um, Oh, maybe you did some heart healing. We've got broken heart. Okay. Patience. Okay. So what I'm actually getting from this, even though the broken heart didn't come out in the reverse, because it came out on the storm warning, we're talking about what it is that's kind of in the past now. There's definitely heart healing that took place. So you did some deep inner work. You allowed some of that or a lot of that stuff to come up to the surface. And with the patience card here, this is talking about divine timing. It's also talking about releasing urgency around something in life. But when I said that about urgency, that actually doesn't feel quite right. So something about divine timing. So maybe, oh, I'm hearing, that's interesting. I'm hearing you healed your heart just in time. So there's something going on with your heart healing. This could have to do with your counterpart. So it's almost one of those, like, whatever your feminine's going through right now, you chose to face what you were being shown and actually heal and process it. And because you did that, it's like the timing is like just perfect for something with your counterpart. Could be like reaching out, contacting them, something like that. Um okay. The temple path. And then I'm hearing you chose the temple path. Ho, ho, ho. And maybe that's what's helping to really clear the storm here. No, okay. And then we've got contract. And then I'm hearing it's time to fulfill a soul contract. Okay. And then we've got door to romance. So it could be time to move towards your counterpart. Yeah. It's one of these energies like even a week ago, I feel like there was a wobble. Um, 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to this temple path energy, when it comes to that path back to spirit, just the spiritual path, the self-growth path. Really connecting with your most authentic version, connecting with your higher self, connecting with the divine, however you view it and work with it, it's choosing that first and prioritizing that relationship first. A good order for prioritization with your relationships is connect with source in whatever way that is for you first, prioritize that. Second, prioritize yourself, self-care, so on and so forth. And then third is, friends, family, kids, spouse, so on and so forth in, various descending order, whatever that is for you. But really prioritizing that connection with spirit above all else, and then really paying attention to the connection with yourself, your most authentic self, prioritizing self-care, so on and so forth. That's when you're now overflowing. And so you can help pour into other people's cups from an overflow versus that, pouring into somebody else's cup and yours is like empty by the time you're done helping somebody else out. You're not getting depleted. And it's also about knowing who to pour into. That's a spicy thought. Um, you could be having some thoughts about your feminine. Anyways, yeah, in this contract card, whew, hold on. I just got hit with a wave of energy. My goodness. Yes, there is some sensual energy that you are embodying when it comes to your feminine, and it's mutual. Like a lot of this energy is. Anyways, okay. Pull back into my channeling energy. Alrighty dokie. Contract. That's where we were. Okay. Um yeah, I feel like this is okay. For some of you, there was a soul contract between you and your feminine that was redefined. And now it's time like for your human selves to allow yourself to fulfill it. And it is very fulfilling. Oh man. Order romance. Moving on. Um, okay. Um, there's some serious sensual energy going on right now. Maybe you cleared something in the sacral, in the second chakra. There's definitely been a clearing of some sort. Like energetically, an aha moment, a clearing, an unblocking of a chakra, like something shifted in the energy. And that's where that storm warning in the reverse comes out too, is there's a no, it'd be heart healing. Well, it probably is. Yeah, door to romance. This is just letting you know if you are desiring to reconnect with your feminine, it's safe to do so. It's a go. It's a go. I don't feel like there's anything energetically in the way. As far as like being blocked by the divine, I don't feel like, yeah, at this point, I'm hearing it's just your human self that's blocking it. And then we got anxiety. So, you could, but it kind of came out sideways. So you could be releasing some of this anxiety, and pulling more down into your like body. Um, Yeah, just pulling out of that head space, overthinking type of an energy. Just remember, if you're really in anxiety energy, that's because you're mentally living in the future and you're thinking about all the possibilities. When you're really in that anxious state, do your best to just surrender that to the divine and know that your higher self is going to guide you to continue to guide you to the path of your dreams. And so when you're sitting there worried and worried and worried, it's because you're mentally in the future possibilities. So do your best to pull yourself into the present moment and ask for what the guidance is in this now moment. And then depression can indicate that you're living in the past. um, so because I'm talking about mental health, if you are struggling with your mental health, definitely seek out professional advice. I'm talking about it from a little bit different of a standpoint. Yeah, seek out professional assistance. I'm not offering medical advice or mental health advice. Okay. Anyways, um, gotta say that. On the reverse, nope. Okay. Your intuition is telling you to act. That was very straightforward. Okay. So, yeah, that's okay. Your intuition's telling you it's time. And that might be why I went on that whole rant about anxiety and pulling your energy into this now moment, because in this now moment is when you're going to connect with your intuition and be like, okay, it's a go. It's a go. I was going to say, let's get her done, which has been like a random phrase that has been coming out lately. And then I heard, let's get her. So, it's not a gender thing. But if your feminine is a her, identifies as a her, it's time to go get her. Um, and it's really it's interesting because I'm picking up like this. It's time to act, but it's not like a super. It's going to be like a slow and steady kind of unraveling process with your person. It's not going to be maybe for some of you. The main thread of energy I'm picking up though is well, I heard a few months, but like when you like when you break no contact, and then I heard a few months. So it might be a few months after you start talking to your feminine that a romantic type of scenario is anchored in, which is kind of funny because that's still pretty quick. But yeah, anyways, okay. So your intuition's telling you it's time. So make sure you're pulling into the now moment so that you can really pick up on that. And you know, go get your feminine. Mm-mm-mm. I'm like cheesing over here, just like smiling ear to ear. So yeah, this is a very positive energy. All tied up. What in the banana sandwich? I was over here all smiling and shit, and then all tied up came out. So interesting. What does that have to do with this? What are they all tied up with, Spirit? Okay, for some of you, it's another person romantically. That could be maybe you're still in a connection with another person. If so, I'm picking up karmic. Um, so, just take that as extra confirmation. For some of Okay, for some of you, you might be with a person or releasing a person that maybe you thought was actually your counterpart. And then this like aha moment hit, or you just got clarity on who your feminine actually is. Um, yeah, there could be something like that going on. Um, for others of you, this can be anything. This is anything that you are attached to that is not for your highest good. So it could be a limiting belief, it could be a lack mentality, it could be a job, it could be a location, it could be a person, it can be just all the things. So there could still be a sense of unraveling some things, some attachments, some connections, whatever it is for you. Um, But just know you don't have to have all of that completely done and handled before you reach out to your feminine, especially in this energy, because there's this level of, or like an element of you and your feminine being in contact, and then that's going to energetically assist both of you on really releasing what you are guided to release at that time, like what you're still holding on to, what you're still attached to. And there's going to be an element of clarity for both of you when you are in contact. And then it's one of these things, like if you've been sitting here and you're like, I don't know how I can do that, this seems so difficult, this seems really hard to let go of or to change or to shift out of. It's almost this energy, like when you reach out to your feminine, it shifts to the point where it's like clarity comes. It and it's like something that seemed so daunting all of a sudden seems really small. It's that like mountain out of a molehill kind of thing. Like you're looking at it as though it's this 14er, like this huge, really tall mountain. And then all of a sudden you realize, like, oh shit, I can just step over this thing. I was just viewing it from that perspective. But now that it's here, I can just step over it. It's really not that big of a deal. So just know that. Yeah. I heard it's going to be really easy to clean it up when you're in contact with your feminine, whatever that is. Uh, Deceit in the reverse position. Yeah, you got clarity, man. You got some clarity. You had an aha situation. S- Okay. Receiving this card reverse puts you on notice the deceit of the past is over or about to end. Perhaps some enmity. Oh, I'm unfamiliar with that word. At work is being dissolved, or maybe a more open communication has developed in your personal life. Be assured the negative and dishonest energy is on its way out, and take advantage of a new peaceful and open environment, one where you will be able to forge more success in greater comfort. On a deeper level, this is telling you the period of self deceit is over. You are now ready to see the abiding truth of your own value, power, and deserving. It may take continued effort, but your honesty with yourself regarding these truths will bring even greater value into your life. Dude, damn. That's profound. That's really, really profound. So it's like the darkness that you were sitting in for quite a while for some of you is over. Which is just beautiful. And it does feel like sunnier, brighter, happier days are right around the corner for you. And I feel like there's a part of you that knows that now, like beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's a part of you that's like, yes, I know that for sure. Okay, hostilities. So this all tied up card could be with somebody in your life who's a little bit hostile. So if this is a karmic person, that makes sense. Anytime you're entangled with a karmic situation, person, place, or thing, doesn't matter. Um, when you've learned your lesson, sometimes unentangling from it can be it can react in a hostile way, whether it's a person, place, or thing. So just, I feel like this is just kind of confirmation to let you know. But it's one of these things, like, especially if this is something that you're releasing after you contact your feminine, it's going to be a lot easier to get through. So whatever it is for you, just know that it's not required that you reach out to your feminine first. It's just letting you know that if you do, it might make it a lot easier for you, just on a lot of different levels, like just energetically. Okay. Romance angel. Okay. Got it, got it. All right. So now we are going to get some insights from the romance angels. Still getting used to having a microphone right here. Oh shit. Let's just drop the entire deck. That would have been fun. Okay. What does the divine masculine need to know about their romance situation? with either their feminine or if they're in a karmic connection, whatever it might be. Okay. Oh, interesting. Pay attention to the red flags. There are signs cautioning you, and it landed out on this hostilities and all tied up cards. So you definitely could be entangled with a karmic romantic person right now. Um just know if that's the case, you're being given extra assistance from the spirit realm to help navigate that situation. Um, so just know that, kind of take solace in that. There could still be some like attachments to it. So maybe there's a part of you that's like, it depends on how much you have invested with this other person. If you were building a life together, maybe living together, possibly have kids together, it just depends. There could still be like a lot of, I'm getting an entangled energy in some way. And it could just be emotional entanglement, or maybe it was one of those, especially if you thought that that person was your counterpart. It takes some mental untangling from that. Just to be like, oh shit, like I was, I was wrong. Um, and it's all part of the process. If that did happen, just know that probably part of the reason that you were thinking that that might be your counterpart is because there's a part of you that knows you're on this journey, and so it's easy to put to kind of like make it fit, especially if it is kind of karmic-y, because there's going to be that triggering. And so if there's that triggering and then you're on an awakening journey, it can appear to be that way. Just know that it can also, we have people in different situations that come into our life that catalyze further growth as well. So that was really what was happening. And if you did think that that was your counterpart and now you're like, no, and that's not my counterpart, this other person is, you're going to be given the strength and the tools necessary to handle that situation. There's a little bit of a thread of energy for somebody who is in that kind of a situation, and maybe you're still unsure on who your actual divine counterpart really is. If that's the case, the recommendation coming through is to break no contact with the other person that you think might be your counterpart, because it's going to provide the contrast necessary for you to really know for sure. And yeah, pay attention to the red flags. So just, there's red flags waving in the wind right now for you. Like kind of extra signs from spirit, like, hey. Okay. We've got chemistry, keep an open mind, and worth waiting for. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. So you and your counterpart have a very intense chemistry with each other. Which, makes sense. Um, okay, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And I just kind of got this insight of maybe that's part of the struggle with this, is because maybe I'm picking up like like a big thing, like race, religion, something, pretty big. If you had it in your mind that you were going to be with a person of this race or of this religion, or with maybe it's like a social status, or maybe it's like their career, something like that, like pretty big, something that isn't just like minor, like, oh, well, they're actually blonde, but I like brunettes or something. Like that's a little minor. Um, but this is like a big thing. And so that could be part of what was difficult about your actual counterpart, is you're like, well, I really do like them. I really do have a lot of chemistry, but I want to be with somebody who is like this, and then this person is just not, whatever that is. That can, that's, yeah. So that's another kind of like attachment thing of your counterpart, like you and your counterpart before you incarnated decided on certain things like this. And there's that level of attraction regardless. And so it might just take a little more kind of work with the ego, and like, especially if you're like, well, I wanted a person who operated like this in life, and then this person that, is your counterpart is operating in a different way. That's that's going to take some unentangling, some releasing of that attachment, and then it's getting real with yourself. Like, is that a deal breaker? Because it might be. It's just going to vary, but especially on something like that. That being said, with the religious differences, I do feel like you and your person are very much connected to spirit in your own way. So if it is a religion thing, like a religious difference, that might not be that big of a deal. Some of the other stuff might be a deal breaker, and that's something for you to sit with and, decide. Anyways, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And I do feel like there's this element of both you and your counterpart feel like the other is worth waiting for. You know what I mean? That makes sense. Like, this is literally by design your perfect person. So, you know, maybe a few things that you told yourself you wanted aren't quite what you would want from a human perspective, but when you go deeper than that and you look at how they operate in the world, who they are as a person, how they make you feel, how you make them feel, the compatibility aspect, the there's with the counterpart, there's going to be this natural it's like a natural inspiration that happens back and forth that pushes you to be your best version and to continue to grow and continue to be your most authentic best self. And so, that's, I mean, that's part of that's kind of like the whole thing. But, and it's pushing you to continuously connect with spirit and really just be your best most authentic self. So, that's worth waiting for, in my humble opinion. All right, what else? Damn, I'm getting a lot off these romance angels cards. Sometimes it's very just like cut and dry, but make the effort. Yeah, okay. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And yeah, you're going to be guided to take some different types of steps on the counterpart journey. Again, it's about really tapping into your most authentic self and wanting to be your best version so that you can show up for your person. So it's this cycle. It's like kind of like a cyclical thing where you want to be the best version of yourself for your person, and so that kicks back into yourself and then causes you to really go within and grow and do whatever is necessary in order to make that happen. And that's very mutual. That is a very mutual dynamic in these situations. Um yeah. And this is a counterpart situation is going to be one that requires further growth just in life, because that's the point. Like, we're here to evolve and grow and learn and live life, love life, enjoy life, have fun with life, and doing that with your person. I mean, sheesh, don't get better than that, man. Anyways, what else? Heart to heart conversations and reconciliation. And then what I heard is it's time to reconcile and have this heart to heart conversation. So whenever you're watching this, it's time. This will be an extra sign. If this is your only sign, I would say to take a minute and go within and really double check. But I feel like if you're watching this, you've already been getting other signs, and so this is just extra confirmation for you to let you know that it is time to reconcile and have this heart to heart conversation with your person. And don't stress out. It doesn't need to be the first time you talk to them that you have to go there. It's just it will naturally get to that point when, when you're guided to. So yeah, just it's mainly like, don't put extra pressure on yourself with it. Allow it to happen blah. Allow it to happen and unfold naturally. Okay. I gotta pause and blow my nose. So there's definitely a need to talk and communicate and have this heart to heart conversation and reconcile. It says someone from your past is returning to your life. and honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, so we are going to get into messages directly from your person. This is what they would say if they could be completely honest with you in this now moment. So, I do just want to give heads up. Sometimes I get a little choked up in this energy, so it might happen. Just we'll get through it together. Anyways, what does the Divine Masculine's person wish for them to know right now? Mm. Okay, so we've got I have a confession. I love you. Can we start over? I'm ready for more with you. So when this message came through, it was talking about a level up. So in this situation with your counterpart, it could be I mean, if you're not in contact, then it would be, getting back in contact. If you are with your person, then it's taking it to the next level. But I am picking up, yeah, this is a no contact situation. So, um, your feminine in the physical. This is from their physical self. This isn't messages from their higher self. I mean, from that too, but this is like their conscious human self. So your feminine's ready for more with you in this now moment, whenever you're listening to this. It says, come play with me. Hmm. Oh. When this one came through, it was actually totally not sensual, to be clear. Like when this message channeled through, it was like, come play and have fun and live life and let's go do fun exciting things together, and there is that element here, but then there's an undercurrent of sensual energy with that one. Okay, then we've got we met for a reason. It's cosmic, which yeah, I mean it's your counterpart. It's divine connection. Cool script. Okay, it says you make me laugh. And then I put what we've got let's play on that one too. So apparently there's lots of playful energy here. And that could be something with your counterpart, is it could just be easy to be in this like, holy, it's half the deck. Um, just easy to like play and laugh and let your inner child out to have fun, and it's safe to do so. And it's just it's mutually just lighthearted. Like, of course, counterpart, you're gonna, have some deep triggering and like things like that. But the funny thing is I feel like both of you are at this place where if you trigger each other for deeper healing, it's not going to be really, really intense. It might be. But I just feel like this is the overall energy. It's more lighthearted, it's playful, it's that's like 80% of the time with this person. There's just the compatibility, the chemistry is off the charts. And yeah, so it's just like you guys are just going to get each other on a different level. And so certain things that trigger you in other relationships aren't going, especially karmic relationships, that's not going to be there with your person. If you trigger each other, it's to, activate deeper healing, and it's not to have this like screaming match back and forth, and just fighting and draining each other's energy. It's going to be like, oh, what the hell is that? Let's dig deep and see what's going on there. So, anyways, okay. Uh, mm, I want to marry you. So, um, if you don't believe in marriage or you don't want to get married, then this is just like commitment for the rest of this life. Like serious commitment for the rest of this life. If you are, interested in actually getting married to your person wants that as well. You feel like home, and then there's stars. And then it's really funny. I just got an image of like standing out on a back porch staring at the stars together. So, ha- have you figured it out yet? We are connected and it's divinely protected. Yeah. Okay. Being near you is intoxicating. Your eyes enchant me. Get out of my head. And that's not in like a mean way. That's the way of like you're just always there. Like no matter what I do, no matter how much I try and stop it, you're there. And that's normal because I do feel like you two are coming back together. So yeah. Will you leap with me into the unknown? There's so much we didn't say. Let me love you. I knew you were the one, I just never said it. Okay. I'm gonna get through this, but I might have to pause it. Oh God. Okay. So many things remind me of you. Very emotional energy. Okay. Can we forget about the past? So your person's ready to put the past behind both of you. All right. I fantasize about your touch. That's as blatant as it gets. I don't want perfection. I want the full you as you are now. Oh, and then I forgot about this one. So there's actually song lyrics. It's from a song called With You by Jessica Simpson. It's an older song at this point. Um, but it says, You speak and it's like a song, just like that, all my walls come down. So this is, I mean, that's counterpart energy because it's one of those, all those walls that you try and build, your counterpart can just get through them pretty easily. And I do feel like I don't feel like there's as many walls as maybe there once was, which makes sense because I do feel like there's been a huge level of healing on both ends. Okay, so yeah, we've got I forgot about that one. There's one more that was flipped over that I didn't see till just now, and it says, I can smell you. So if you get random smells and it smells like your counterpart did or what you think they smell like now, then that's just extra confirmation. That's part of the telepathy that happens between counterparts. Okay, those ones. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. All of these? What's the whole deck? Okay. Hold on. These. Okay. And that's it. All right. So we've got about 15 more. So here we go. You're the first person I think of when I wake up. I send you messages through songs. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. Okay, hold on. It's always been you. Can you forgive me? I can be myself fully with you. You're my soulmate. We are connected always. You see me in a way no one else does or has. You make me feel love like no one else can. And the distance between us sucks with like a mad, sad, frowny face. Okay. Mm. So that is what your person that those messages are what your person would tell you from their human self, their conscious self, if they felt like they could be completely honest with you in this now moment. So if you needed extra confirmation on how your feminine feels, there it is. Um, yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Nope, that's the end of the message. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, with that, this is the end of the message. So I hope this helps. I hope this help. I hope this helps bring some extra clarity, maybe a little more oomph to help you, with the courage to reach out. Um, it's putting yourself out there. So, you know, I do get that. Wishing you all the best on this. You got this. It's time for this. This has all been happening for a divine reason. And and it's here for you now. This is something that both you and your person deeply desire to have is coming back together and reconnecting. This is a romantic thread, especially with just the messages and stuff that came out. So I feel like this is one of those situations where you're coming back into contact with the intention of solidifying a romantic union at some point. Whether that's right away, whether that takes a little bit, it's just gonna vary. But I do feel like that's who this message is for. So um yeah, and it's deeply desired from both of you. So alrighty dokie. Well, with that, I'm going to leave this here. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below if you feel guided to. I would love to hear about it and talk to you about it. Feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message.